and a lot more about what He is capable of doing in and through me. I challenge you to think back over your own lives in moments where you felt torn emotionally, mentally, spiritually. How might God have been using that season to mold you into more of what He wants you to be? In Romans 8:28, we read, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose." I can assure you that there will be many more of these seasons of life to come. Meet them with tenacity, with courage, and with openness. His promise does not mean that every moment and every season will feel good, but have faith and trust that God is continuing to use these moments for good work in you and through you. I'd like to leave you with a few pieces of advice. Some of these are things that I've learned the hard way, so listen closely so you don't have to. Number one, we were meant to do life in community. Be intentional and choose your people well. Number two, make mistakes. This is the only way that we learn and grow. Number three, never miss a moment to extend grace to others. Y'all are making me emotional. Stop. Never miss a moment to extend grace to others. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. And neither is any human that you'll come into contact with here on earth. Number four. Oh, stop. Number four. Kindness, even in its simplest form, goes a long way and it matters. You may never know the path that someone walks and the story that they don't share. This is terrible. I'm so sorry. Number five, and you guys have heard me say this, don't be afraid to change your mind. Number six, learn when to say no. Number seven, ask for help if you need it. Number eight, be prepared to put away your phone and be present. Number nine, try not to walk through life thank you, comparing yourself to others. Comparison will always be the thief of your joy. And number 10, never forget who you are, whose you are, where you come from, and where you're going. Before I close, I'd like to take a moment to recognize a few important groups of people in the room today. First, I'd like to acknowledge the BCA teachers and staff. On behalf of the graduating class, thank you for the time, effort, love, and knowledge that you've poured into these students during their time here. Each student owes a great deal of gratitude to you for the way that you have challenged, taught, for the way that they have been challenged, taught, seen, heard, prayed for, and loved throughout the years. Second, and more importantly, I cannot let a moment pass without acknowledging the parents, family, and friends of our graduates. Your love, your prayers, your patience, tears, discipline, guidance, and support have molded these graduates into the young men and women standing before us today. Thank you for the sacrifices that you've made and will continue to make on their behalf. And while you soon will be saying some form of your own goodbyes, I know that you must also feel a deep sense of pride in the young humans that you're sending out into the world. May God continue to use them for His good work, and may you be comforted in knowing that no matter where they go, He goes before them. Finally, I would like to leave you with a simple word of encouragement that my dad shared with me that day in the airport. Life is hard, but you, Kisang, Katya, Charlene, Elisa, Insa, and Andy, you can do hard things. Congratulations to the class of 2023. We are so very proud of you.
Thank you, Mrs. Anna. Good reminders for all of us this morning, I think. Our salutatorian of the class of 2023 has been at BCA since third grade. She is musical, has sung in her church worship team, and you've already heard her on our worship band this morning. She has a dramatic flair and was Lady Bracknell in The Importance of Being Earnest this spring. She has served on student council as vice president and this year as a senior advisor. And she's been on the director's honor roll every semester that she has been here at BCA. She loves working with kids, and she has volunteered at Kids Romania. She is good at math and she writes wonderful papers, a real Renaissance woman. She is quiet, steady, a steady worker, and she does not draw attention to herself. But when she has a strong opinion, you will know it. Ask her classmates. It was a particularly rainy day on our senior trip to Paris. Oh, I'm getting thumbs up. A particularly rainy day on our senior trip to Paris, and we were thinking we might leave Disneyland Paris before the fireworks, but Charlene let us know that was not acceptable, and we stayed. So, but, um, but as a senior this year, she has grown more assertive and confident and has frequently spoken up in class with wonderful insights, I might add. In the fall, she plans to attend LCC, International University in Lithuania, and major in psychology. It is my honor to invite our salutatorian, Charlene Pinda, to the podium this morning.
Good afternoon, parents, teachers, students, and guests. My name is Charlene Penda, and it is my honor to stand before you and welcome you to our graduation ceremony. Firstly, I would like to thank each and every one of you for being here with us on such an important day. Graduation is a day that almost every student looks forward to. Whenever school gets stressful and overwhelming, we wish for the moment that we can finally say that it is over. For many years, it seemed like a day that was so far in the future. But now, standing here today, it seems like time went by a little too fast. I would like to start by thanking all the teachers who have taught us throughout the years. All the way from elementary, there were many teachers who worked hard to teach us all the basic skills, from reading comprehension to basic math skills. Thank you for being patient with us and continuing to teach us, even though we sometimes were distracted and complained. Hopefully, we will remember all that we have learned here and be able to use it and apply it in university as well. I would especially like to thank Miss Markin, who has taught us various classes over the last few years. Thank you so much for helping us through the very stressful college application process and for always being open and ready to help us whenever we were stuck or confused. I would also like to thank my fellow classmates. Although met them all at different times, I am glad I got to spend my school years with them. I have known Elisa, Kisang, and Ensa since elementary. Looking back, we have all changed a lot since then. I remember when we were in sixth grade and came up to secondary for Shadow Day. Being upstairs was an entirely different world than being in elementary. We were so excited to finally be in secondary, have our own lockers, and be the older kids. A few years later, when we were already in high school, Andy and Katya joined us. Although I have known them for a shorter period of time, they have also become an important part of my time in high school. In this short period of time, we have gotten to know each other and become close. Elisa, thank you for being my best friend and always being there for me from the very beginning. Kisang, thank you for always pushing me to get out of my comfort zone, be more spontaneous, and have fun. Unsa, thank you for always being so kind and considerate and reliable. Andy, thank you for being so encouraging and sharing your bright energy even on the most tiring mornings. And Katya, thank you for always being so kind and encouraging. Every time I speak to you, I feel like my energy is recharged. It is all thanks to the five of you that my final year of high school could be filled with so many good memories, one of them being our senior trip. This year, as part of our final moments as a class, we were able to go on our senior trip to Paris. Firstly, on behalf of the seniors, I would like to thank all the parents that made a variety of snacks for us to select grounded, as well as all the people who bought the snacks from us. Thanks to you, it was possible for us to take this trip and have a fun time together. During our trip, we were able to do various activities and visit various places. We visited museums, saw churches built in different architectural styles, and most of the main attractions in Paris, including Disneyland. We got to spend more time together and make many memories that will last with us for a very long time. Last but not least, Last but not least, thank you to all the parents. Thank you for always being there, not only through our school lives, but for our entire lives up until this moment. As parents, you have watched your children go through every milestone, from their first words to their first day of school, and now all the way to the ceremony that marks the end of a chapter and the beginning of another. Congratulations to you as well. My parents have always believed in me, even when I was not confident in myself. Thank you for always supporting me and being a safe space for me. Most importantly, I thank God for being with us throughout this year. It is through His help that we were able to overcome many of the challenges that we faced throughout the years. As I end this speech, I want to mention a few people who left a big impact on my life. Firstly, my brother Jeremy. Although we have not always gotten along, I am so happy that we are close and spend a lot of time together. I consider myself lucky to have a younger brother who cares about me so much. Next, Felipe, who I have known since I was young. You have been there for all my embarrassing moments, as well as all the important moments in my life. Thank you for always being there. I would also like to thank Sua. She has always been so sweet and kind and always makes me laugh. She's like the younger sister I always wished I could have. And also to Nadia, Shan, Nikki, and Fayang. Thank you for being my friends. I had a lot of fun every time we hung out together. Once again, thank you to the friends and family for being here and showing your support to me and my classmates. And to my classmates, congratulations on making it to the end. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you, Charlene, and congratulations again. Our valedictorian today has been at BCA since first grade. He has participated in taekwondo and basketball, served on the yearbook team, and no surprise to those who know him, the debate team. He's been on the director's honor roll every semester, set for AP exams, served on the student council every year since fifth grade. I think that's 8 years, including last year as the student council president and this year as a senior advisor. He is responsible and reliable, although he also has a silly streak and might occasionally be responsible for some pranks. For example, he seems to have a propensity for skipping field day in his years at BCA. For example, he told me a few weeks ago he was sure he would be sick this week. And on the morning of field day, I get a couple of messages that say, I'm so sorry, Miss Markin. I cannot come today. I am sick, complete with some very ill looking emojis. Then I opened my classroom door and saw Kisung standing in the hallway, perfectly healthy. So I'm pretty sure, though, he got his just desserts when all of his classmates targeted him with the water games. It seems although he has always been a stellar student, Kisung has grown much throughout his time in high school. As a ninth grader, and he'll say this too, he was far more concerned about his grades and about getting that perfect A than he was about true learning, truly understanding a subject. I remember an instance of him devastated that he had not done his best, begging a teacher to increase his grade simply because I believe his argument was, I am an A student. Yes, that was his whole argument. But he has now grown into a student who is not merely concerned with grades. On his senior trip to Paris, he, like his classmates, they really are an impressive group, was eager to spend time in museums and cathedrals, taking in all the culture and history, um, identifying all the major works of art in the Louvre, and just demonstrating how interested they are in true learning. He still likes his A's. He's valedictorian, but he has a curiosity, an inquisitiveness, and a love of learning beyond what translates into a GPA. I thought it was fitting that the verse he chose for today is 1 Corinthians 13:12. For now we know only in part, but one day we shall see fully. We are proud of you, Kisung, and hope you and your classmates will pursue truth more and more fully as you grow. I am proud to welcome our valedictorian, Kisung Lee, to the stage.
Hello, dear parents, guardians, teachers, and of course, students. I want to show my gratitude for your presence today as we celebrate a day my classmates and I have been looking forward to since first setting foot in a school. Personally, I have been attending BCA for 2/3 of my life. I was just a child in a new foreign country. I was just a child in a new environment, and I was just a child when I entered my first grade in BCA. My journey in BCA was one filled with joy, victories, along with failures and many new faces that have helped me grow as an individual. You know, BCA wasn't just a learning institution for me. It was a place where I learned how to act, talk, and become my true self. But all these positives wouldn't have happened without teachers and friends who acted like role models. Of course, I've had my fair share of conflicts with certain teachers and classmates, but today I want to mention a few of the people who have helped me in my own personal journey and that I'll always be thankful for. My first grade teacher, Miss Perkins, was an impactful figure in my life as I learned the basics of English for the first time. She was so patient and treated me like her own child. She helped me get used to the idea of school and also to make new friends. My ESL teacher, Miss Fessel, taught me how to use English for communication through fun games. Also, she was patient with me, and I'll always be grateful for her for her contribution for English learning. In 10th grade, I met Miss Marinake, who at the time was my history teacher. She was so professional, and that was a trait that I still, to this day, look up to. After being my teacher for more than 4 years, I realized that she was not only a teacher, but also a mentor for me as I learned about balance. Balance is something that I always struggled with, as I often found myself in stressful situations due to my own expectations of high grades. Instead of simply grading and teaching, Miss Marinake was always willing to sit down and talk to me about balancing my stress and focus on both school, home, and social life. She was always slow to anger and judgment, and I know that she genuinely cared and still cares for how our students are doing, not only in school, but in their life as well. She also managed to make me interested in difficult subjects such as art history. Last but certainly not least, Miss Markin was one of the most influential people for me at BCA. She was my history teacher when I was in ninth grade. She was a great teacher, but she also was an important figure during my term as student council president and a senior. Some days I viewed Miss Markin as a teacher, some days I viewed her as a mentor, and some days I viewed her as my boss. But no matter what the situation was, she helped me take on many different and difficult challenges in my high school years. She always showed me how much she cared about the students, and behind every constructive criticism she gave, there was a desire for her to see her students succeed in both school and in life. She has also helped me with my college application and advanced placement. For all these reasons and more, I am forever grateful. Although teachers were a major part of my development, my teachers and my friends and my fellow seniors have all shown great love, care, and respect for me. Elisa and Charlene are like sisters to me ever since I first met Elisa in second grade and Charlene in third. They have undoubtedly made my school experience fun and have helped me through countless tough times. No matter what mistake I did, no matter how wrong I was, they were always caring for me. Ensa is one of the people who I always looked up to for his incredible calmness and calculation. He was always reliable, and I knew that I could count on him no matter what the situation was. Next, we have Andy, and he will always be someone who, no matter how bad the situation is, will always see the bright side of things. Actually, I remember when I went to Constanza in November, and there was an error that occurred with the SAT program, which caused both our tests to not open, and I was so glad that Andy was there to cheer me up. Although I just met Katya this year, I think that she has made many new friends and managed to do well in school. She was always professional and quite inspiring as well. Last but not least, I want to thank both of my parents for always supporting my studies at BCA. As a young child, I felt pressure from my mother to do well in school, but I slowly began to understand the importance of learning, and by eighth grade, I started to strive for better performance in school without the push of my parents. They have always encouraged me. But with every victory my mom congratulated me with, she knew that I could always do better. She believed in my potential, and as I'm speaking in front of everyone here, I truly am grateful for her faith in me. I think I've managed to both enjoy high school life with friends and managed to do well enough that my parents aren't terribly mad at me. And this is one of the most important things that I've learned in high school: balance. Finding balance for me was and still is an incredibly hard task to do. Balance between fun and studying, friends and family, and so on. To all the students in BCA, please, if you haven't found it, I encourage everyone to find a good balance in order to enjoy high school and study well. There might be some days where you feel so overwhelmed with work that you don't even have time to think about taking a break. I know I definitely had those moments. But after I found some balance, I learned how to remain focused and calm, even during weeks where I had lots of projects, tests, and essays. I'm still learning to find this balance, as I'm sure my peers are as well. But I believe I've made progress, and it has really helped me through my high school, and I'm sure it'll help me in my future as well. Honestly speaking, I feel a bit overwhelmed right now. Graduating high school seemed like such a faraway dream, but now it feels so unreal. I'm sure we all waited for this moment for so long, and I'm proud of us that we managed to end this chapter of our lives. But this chapter that we call high school is only one of the first, as we're all going to different parts of the world, meeting new people and starting new journeys. To some, it might seem redundant, having to start over all over again. But I see this as an opportunity that shows us how blessed we truly are. You know, like we learned so many lessons throughout high school, especially during my senior years, and we all get to practice these lessons in the wide world. I think that although it might be a scary fact, it is such an exciting event. But to reach this conclusion, I had to do a lot of self-reflection. You see, since first grade, I've had friends and teachers come and go. This feeling of just getting to know someone, getting comfortable with them, and then having to leave is what I can only describe as heartbreaking. I'm sure that all BCA students have and will continue to go through these feelings. It is an international school and with many different families having many different circumstances. It took a long time for me to accept the change and people constantly leaving and my environment changing. For me, it gave a sense of hopelessness as no matter what I did, I could not control if my friends and teacher would remain with me for a long time. But I realized that instead of resenting change and constantly running away from it, embracing it would help me deal with it in a more healthy way. Instead of fearing the moment that somebody would leave, I started to enjoy them during the time they had with me and the lessons I can teach and also learn from them. I believe that BCA gave me, along with every student, this opportunity to meet so many people from around the world with diverse backgrounds. Meeting so many people from so many different backgrounds gave me this experience that I needed to go on my own and meet people from all around the world. Although saying goodbye to teachers and friends is and never will be easy, I am so grateful for the countless students and teachers that gave me both unforgettable memories and helpful lessons in life. Just as I have accepted this fact, it brings me peace to my worries as I know that wherever I will go, I'll always have memories and lessons that I've learned during this long period of my life. I hope that my words can help people enjoy high school if they haven't started, find balance, and learn to appreciate change in their lives. I also hope you enjoyed me reminiscing about my high school experience and about my experience in BCA overall. I know that most teachers and parents understand what I went through, and to be honest, I think I'm starting to be a little envious of the high schoolers. But all those feelings aside, I again feel incredibly lucky to have been part of the BCA family. Quickly, I want to mention Felipe, Feyang, Nikki, and Jeremy. They've been like brothers for me throughout as long as I've known them, and they've helped me so much. I want to thank Teo uh, and Sua. I met them. I got close to them in high school, but we became really good friends. I want to thank Nadia and I want to thank Elena for always being there for me and being such a fun person. Um, and also for teachers, I want to and staff members, I want to thank Miss Stefani Day. I've known her since first grade. Can you believe it? I mean, she saw me when I was this, and now she's seeing me here. She was always ready to help me. She was always just whenever I needed medicine, whenever I needed to print something, she was always there. And I want to also mention when I first came to middle school, I also met Miss Terasuts, and I think it was a really fun journey that I had with her. She's definitely fun. And Miss Anna, we even though I didn't have a really long time to know you and for you to teach me, I think that I really learned a lot from you, and thank you so much for sharing your knowledge with me. May God bless you all. And for the final time, this has been Kisang Lee. Thank you and goodbye.
That was really beautiful. Um, I didn't, when I came to BCA 4 years ago, I was teaching Bible and I had the ones that came later, but I had the four of them in Bible class. And it's been such a privilege and such a beautiful thing to be able to see them grow and transform. I think ENSA has always been steady. When I first came, um, at least I used to always talk about Charlene. Like there's this friend Charlene coming because they were coming late. And she every day she'd be like, Charlene is coming. Charlene is great. Charlene will be wonderful. Charlene is my best friend. Charlene. And after a while I was like, is she real? Because she never came. I mean, it took her, I think it was like second semester that you came, but every single day. It's like, this seat is saved for Charlene. I'm like, do we all see her? Is she real? Is she your invisible friend? I don't know. It was just such a pleasure to see them grow. And then Kisang has gone through a ridiculous amount of phases in life. He went from like, I don't even know, always wearing a suit to wearing other things. And then now wearing a suit again. It's just been such a privilege and an honor to be able to watch them grow, change, and become men and women. It's like they're not children anymore. They are men and women of God. And that is the most beautiful thing. There's nothing greater. There's no bigger privilege than to see somebody become more and more like Christ. Are they perfect? No. Um, are they annoying? Yes. Do they get stressed out and overwhelmed and become ridiculous? Yes, they do. Are they just like everybody else? Yeah, they are. They are human just like all of us. And it's been a privilege to see them grow and change. And I am so thankful that God has allowed me to to be part of their lives. I thought I was going to teach them for Bible for 1 year and then be gone. And they would ask me, will you be here next year? And I'm like, no, 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 I won't be here next year. And then I came back and then they would say, would you be here next year? And I'm like, no, probably not. And I was back and now I'm back and I'm still here. And it seems like God has a way of uniting our hearts and keeping us together no matter what we feel or no matter what we want sometimes. God has his ways. But it's been the greatest privilege of my life to be able to watch you guys grow. And my encouragement to you is that every day when you open your eyes, the first thing you say is, God, I need you. God, I need you. God, help me. God, walk with me today. Because otherwise, life is brutal. I know you'll notice it like once you go to college. Life is hard, life is difficult, but God is steadfast and He is faithful and He is kind and He is the rock that we build our lives on and He is the one that we cling on to no matter what. So, my encouragement to you and probably everybody in this room as you begin your day, you open your eyes, your first thought should be, good morning, God. And then the next words that come out of your mouth should be, God, I need you. God, help me. God, walk with me. God, keep me close to you. God, hold on to me. and give me the wisdom and the grace that I need to hold on to you like nothing else, because that is the most important thing. If you have that, you have everything. If you lose that, you lose everything. It's that simple. Hold on to God and cling on to Him. And holding on to Him, we've reached this moment that your parents have been probably dreading from the moment you were born. You were born, you were little, they looked at you and they said, oh no, someday he's going to graduate. They're going to leave me someday. But that's the moment. And it's the moment that you've been waiting for the past 12 years. It's time for you to graduate. It's time for you to receive a diploma and to start a new chapter and a new journey where God will do great things in you. Maybe not change the world, but God will do great things in you. And the greatest thing that He can do is give you the privilege to know Him and to be His. I'm dragging it out because you guys all look nervous, and I see like just there's nervous energy all around you. And so when I see people nervous, I like to drag things out even more. I am a horrible person, but everybody knows that. Okay. And so um I would like to call to the stage Ms. Markin and Mr. Kostikinen, who is part of our board, to come and to help me with the diplomas. So come on up. This is the time. If any of you want to take pictures, if you want to take pictures of your student graduating, when they receive the diploma, they will have a moment. We practiced it. It's a moment when they're going to turn to you and be super cheesy. That is the moment you come and you take your pictures. So we encourage you to get your cameras ready and be ready to take them. The first one to come to the stage is Kisang Lee. Congratulations, Kisang. Okay. Congratulations, Kisang. Congratulations. Katya Morhun. Charlene Openda. Congratulations. Elisa Ramos de Carvalho. There you go. Ensa Yang. And now the happiest person you will ever meet, Andy Sgurza. Congratulations. Can you guys move back? Family and friends, I am proud to present to you our newest alumni and the Bucharest Christian Academy class of 2023. Congratulations, guys. Sit down. Have a seat. Thank you and congratulations, class of 2023. As we conclude today's ceremony, we ask that all of our guests please remain at your seats until the recessional is completed and the last graduate has exited the room. Will you please stand with me for the benediction? May the eternal's answer find you and come to rescue you when you desperately cling to the end of your rope. May the name of the true God of Jacob be your shelter. May he extend hope and help to you from his holy sanctuary and support you from your sacred city. May he remember all you have offered him. May he grant the dreams of your heart and see your plans through the end. When you win, we will not be silent. We will shout and raise high our banners in the great name of our God. May the eternal say yes to all of your requests. Amen. Amen. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. Please join us for food and snacks and cake to celebrate the graduates, and we'll have a place to take pictures. Enjoy the rest of your day. Also, if you have kids, please don't leave them loose at the food table.